Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's episode of the Gym Owners Podcast. I'll type in some intro notes here, guys. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Tyler Stoner. There's John Fairbanks. How we doing, John?
I'm doing excellent, Tyler.
It's a rare break from the brutal cold here. It was terribly cold here all week. Today, almost 40 degrees today.
We are a high of 20 today.
Good. That's what you fucking deserve, guys.
It is.
We're sending you a little tundra from the Midwest here. We're going to jump right into it, guys. Follow the show at the Gym Owners Podcast on Instagram. If you want to work with us directly, have us help you help your gym become kick-ass, get new members, do things the right way, results for your clients, results for your wallet, results for everybody involved. You can either shoot us a message at the Gym Owners Podcast on Instagram, or you can email us directly at thedudes@hackyourgym.com. We got a list. I don't like using the word fan request because we don't have fans. We have some listeners. So we have a listener request. John, who is this one from?
So this is going to be at Shane.IBMGym. So it's Shane Barbetti. So Shane reached out to us. We do appreciate it. Like it is one of those things Tyler and I were talking about before we came on. Like it is nice. Reach out to us. Let us know that you listen. Like let us know. Like if there's an episode that is awesome that connects with you or whatever, let us know. It's kind of pissing
yelling into the void for absolutely no credit and no nothing, while continuing to be right on most of the things for fucking years here, guys. Just if you listen, let us know you like the show, please. We don't do a lot of like interactive stuff where we're out here doing like, and I'm not pushing a bunch of heavy sales shit where we're in fucking webinars with you dorks all the time, like everyone else is trying to rip you off. So we're just here putting the message out there, trying to help those who come their way, come far enough to come to us. And Shane, was it Shane, correct?
Yep, Shane.
Shane had a whole list of topics for us, and we really like this first one that we want to run with. John, what is this one?
So this one's all about turning your members into your biggest promoters. It was kind of part of Shane's overarching question that revolved around referrals. So getting consistent, and I really like kind of Shane obviously is able to use ChatGPT pretty good, right? Because it's very structured this way, and all the kudos to you for doing it. But it was getting consistent referrals without begging. And I really dug that. It was kind of like his headline. And then one of the bullet points underneath was the whole idea about turning your members into your biggest promoters. And as we looked at like creating a referral program that works, how to incentivize without devaluing your brand, there's some other items that he threw in there, but we really latched on to the turning your members into your biggest promoters, because to me, that feels like the most foundational piece that then everything else can build on top of if we start
buying leads, paying for ads, buying new members. There's nothing inherently wrong with paying for marketing and running paid ads to get bodies into your door and get interest. That's a game that I think there's nothing wrong with playing that game, but it's one piece. If your product sucks and your people aren't getting results, or your people aren't doing any legwork for you, like none, it's probably either you're getting the wrong people or you're not doing a very good job with the people you got. And that's kind of what we're going to get into right away, John. And one of the things that I've heard from gym owners who, I don't know how I would describe this type of gym owner, a complacent gym owner, right? That's a reasonable term to use. Doesn't mean you're bad, doesn't mean you're evil, doesn't mean you're lazy, but you've maybe gotten a little complacent. They're the ones that tell us, oh, all my business is from word of mouth. That means you have no fucking idea how to get new members next month if you needed to. Or if generally to grow your business via some sort of plan, that plan doesn't exist, and nor does the potential for any plan that you're going to come up with be successful. A lot of all my business is from word of mouth gym owners, those are losers, and those are people that are on borrowed time. And I need you to understand that that's not the thing. That is not a system. And that is not something that you can rely on. And what you're kind of saying is, not even that you've been lucky. I've been lucky enough. And not that you've been successful. It's that I've been successful enough. There's a lack of ambition, not just in that saying when they say that, in the lack of actual effort. That's like a person coming to me and saying, I've just always been strong. I don't even go to the gym and lift. I just am stronger than most people. So that's what it is. And what am I supposed to do with this? Like, okay, cool guy. What are we saying here? So when we go into talking about turning your members into your biggest promoters, that's about actually putting some effort around creating the quality wake that will follow you and your members' experiences behind, that will create a little bit of some waves in your community and some commotion and give people something to talk about, that will attract new people to your business. It's important. Because otherwise, if you're just doing what you're doing and shutting the fuck up about it, even if you're doing a decent job, there's going to be a little bit of that. But if you cannot systemize it, you can't do it really great. That's all.
Yeah, and I will add just a little bit of a caveat on like your losers, which is we do run into quite a few folks that are, just like you said, Tyler, very content with that complacency and just kind of just they're chilling and they're more than happy, and that's God bless them. But the reality is that it's
and that you have enough money that your kid that's my problem when that comes up. I was like, have you done so well that like your kids don't have to worry about money now? And your grandkids? Like, is that the corner you've turned with this to where now you're just going to chill? It just lacks ambition and it lacks drive. And I think that those are things that we need actually more of in this business, is people who are trying to actually achieve something, not just be gym owner. I am gym owner. That's
gym owner. Yeah. And it is right. It's the uninspired. And the reality is that is definitely what, if you're uninspired about everything, it will show up. And that's for us, it's if you are content with staying right where you are and you're not going to do anything about it and you're complacent, then you fall into that loser bracket. There's going to be for a lot of you that you're just getting started. You're just starting out. So all you've got right now is kind of word of mouth, because you're kind of flying by the seat of your pants. You're making shit up as you go. Very, very reactive, right? You're not forecasting, you're not getting the opportunity yet to think. You're thinking a week ahead if you're lucky. And more than likely, we're nowhere near where we want to be, living in kind of like a 12, 16 weeks ahead. Well, you're not there yet. So it's all reactive. It's just word of mouth. Hey, I'm super stoked people came in. Eventually, once you get out of that phase, you will get your head just enough over the water to be able to say, well, how can I start better planning? How do I get somebody to show up instead of just being stoked that somebody is called and I'm not really sure why they called? And this is definitely going to be all for you guys.
And the reason we attach to this one is because we're continuing to put this offer out here, by the way, too, is we also have the results framework for putting results first. And that is, if you're interested in that, if you would like us to send that to you, shoot us a message at the Gym Owners Podcast on Instagram. And it's a full actionable checklist you can kind of run through on how to implement some systems that are actually about getting your clients results. And that is where this does start. John's first note here is results first mentality from the start. And that is the thing. There's a lot of room in fitness for exercisers to exercise and having a place for people to come and exercise. And there's a place for people who are already fit to maintain their fitness. And that's great. And those people all have goals and they all need guidance, and they are worthy of paying for a good experience as well. But just know that doesn't move the needle as much as big results. Big results get people talking. A little firecracker is not going to attract as much attention as a goddamn atom bomb. Okay, we want impact here, boys. Okay, so the thing we want here is this inside-out approach, which is basically start with your one-on-one, start with the people you have, start with the thing that you have the most control of when you have the most influence. If I have 5, 6 people, I don't have as much direct influence on the things that all 5 or 6 people in a group class or a custom group have. If I have one person, I can say, listen, here's what we're trying to do. You can lay these things out. And that's where it needs to begin. It needs to begin with one-on-ones. And you need to be trying to deliver impactful, visible, life-changing results. Okay. There's plenty of one-on-one clients, by the way, because one-on-one is a premium, should be the most expensive thing that you offer. There are plenty of one-on-one clients who are not fat, who are not way overweight, who aren't going to have some big visible transformation. That doesn't mean give up on them, but it does mean you cannot be afraid of taking on a fucking project here. Okay. I start chomping at the bit when I get somebody over 350 pounds. Love it. Especially when they're ready to change. Because it's the most fucking valuable marketing I'll ever do. Take someone from 350 pounds to 200 pounds.
And if we stay in line with what we truly, truly believe, is it also holds the greatest potential for impact generationally for that individual and every single person that's involved in their family.
That's a family that was heading one direction with one way of eating and one type of role model teaching them lots of the wrong things. And that person had the balls to pay somebody, to hire somebody to get their shit on track, like to turn that fucking car all the way around and get headed the right direction. That is a huge change. Generations and generations and family upon family. This is a big fucking deal. And when you talk about turning your members into your biggest promoters, what are they promoting? I go to this place and it's okay. Like that doesn't move the fucking needle here. But everybody starts asking these people whose experience, who their own transformation is a fucking lighthouse in their own community. Because everybody sits and talks and goes, God, have you seen him? Holy shit. I've got clients now who get asked, did this guy start doing drugs?
Cocaine, just
meth. One of them was a coworker is like, has he been doing meth? He's lost like 140 pounds. And it's like, no, but he's so strict now. Like it would hurt everybody's feelings. Not the most disciplined bodybuilders that I know maintain this level of dietary adherence. It would break all your fucking souls. But this person just gradually got there and got the gumption, and now there's no fucking turning back because that's what they're about. And that's the type of project I want. I want someone who's coming in, and we'll get into this a little bit too, maybe later on. Go ahead, John.
On this exact point, Tyler, stay with me on this thought exercise. So this individual you're talking about, right? It is they are a walking billboard. Okay. They're a walking billboard in your immediate community. It's a walking, talking billboard, right? How much did it cost you, Tyler, to pay for that billboard?
I got paid.
You got paid to make that fucking billboard.
That's what I'm saying, dorks. What are you guys doing out there doing like average ass shit? That's the problem for me. You know, you could do the same amount. You can get paid the same amount of money, same amount of time, probably even more money because theoretically it is a more valuable fucking experience. Okay. And then now this person is out there just crushing it. Because I've got clients, and bless their heart, they're consistent and they're good, but they hide the fact that they have a personal trainer. They kind of don't really want people to know that they're like hiring a person to help them. They just kind of want to be fit, and they don't train around other people. They don't really talk about fitness. They don't like bragging about their workouts. It's like it's like an anti-CrossFit thing where they're like, I'm not there to tell people how I fucking, they'll even make fun of it. I have friends that do CrossFit and stuff, and they come in and tell me how big their wads were or whatever every day, and it's annoying and dumb. And I was like, yeah, I understand how that would be irritating to you. So I get that. That's a person that will only be advocating for me on behalf of me to other people who have that exact same mindset, which is great. That's business moving laterally to other business of equal value, but that is not going to spread like a fucking wildfire. Okay.
California,
these walking billboards, whoosh, up you go. Okay. And that's the difference. When we talk about revolution, sometimes we got to have a little fucking fuel to the flame here. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with a little bit of fire here, a little bit of fire here, but it's not as impactful as you just fucking roaring. And that's what happens when you create big time impact from these. I don't even like using the term project clients. I only say project clients because of when the ones aren't ready. When you have somebody who has a long ways to go, and because they have a long ways to go, there's a lot of other shit in their way. They're in their own way. They're a little bit of a project, and that can be frustrating. But that's the only term that I use because my most impactful clients, the ones who've got the greatest impact, were the easiest to work with. And I do want to stay on this because I was going to redirect, but I do want to stay on this one point because with my marketing stuff for this subject matter, when I talk about taking on a project client, I went through and I asked we didn't talk about this last week, did I? What I asked all of my...
We did not talk. You and I have talked about this.
I'll bring this up because I'm going to start to do this directly. I wouldn't recommend doing this for your gym, but I will do this for my personal training stuff. And this is a concept you still need to know. Because if your brand needs to be more everyone friendly, this is not an approach I would recommend you using. But this is the reality of coaching these quote project clients.
But I do like a personal trainer that you may have in your gym. If you're a gym owner and you have a personal trainer and they maybe specialize in this type of communication or this type of client,
being direct,
use this, right? I agree. I
asked all of my clients who've lost, and I think like 70 pounds or more. Anyway, so I got quite a few clients now in the last 2 years that have lost anywhere between 60, 70, and 150 pounds, probably like 9 of them. In that range, 9 or so. And I asked them because I always told them, I said, if I could bottle up, because if I could bottle up whatever they had in them when they started, because they were all the easiest clients I've ever worked with. They were going to be successful no matter what. They were going to be successful in weight loss if they had no guidance and no help. It was maybe going to be a slower road, and then maybe would have been bouncing around a little bit, chasing some, variables that are less optimized for them or their experience. But they were going to be successful, and they were great to work with. There was no argument. They adhered to everything. They were open books on everything. And so I've told all of them gradually, I like just in conversation, that I wish I could bottle that up and give that to these people that I have who, when they get in, their project clients, and they're, asking me about where's ice cream fit in this. And I was like, well, not fucking on your first 2 days, dude. I don't know what to say. Like, change is what we're doing. Change has got to happen. You don't get to do the same shit, at least not fucking now. And so when you get people that want to hang on to all their old bullshit, it can be frustrating. And that's where this idea came. How can I bottle up what these most successful people have had before they came to me? And I asked them, I said, what was it like? And I dance around this in my exit surveys a lot, which is like, tell them, what would you say to the person, or what finally made you decide to take action? And they kind of go at it directly, and some of them are very open. All I said then when I talked to them face to face was, did you hate yourself and the way you looked and the way you felt? And were you disappointed in yourself and embarrassed and ashamed? And all of them were like, yes, 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 yes. Not only that, absolutely. And at the point that they sit in now, they really don't like that person that they were in the past. They didn't then. And now that they're above that and beyond that, they're embarrassed that that person was ever even a part of them.
What I liked the most about the responses that you got, Tyler, was that it was that simple ask, which I could argue you were leading the witness.
Of course.
Right? But
because I have the message I want to say, I only want confirmation.
Of course. However, though, right? But listen, and listen, this is a grain of next level, right? This is part of when we work with our people about getting testimonials and doing quarterly check-ins. Leading the witness is a part of that. We know what you want to be able to get. We know what's going to look the best when someone's going to be looking for somebody that aligns with what type of person they were and the type of results those people got as your client. All that comes into play for leading the witness. But this is what I like the most. While you led these guys towards an answer you wanted, there was always a story that followed up where it was, yes, yes, yes. Let me tell you about this time. Because those are those moments. And when you were telling me this thing, I did the exact same thing.
Yeah. In your case, the same thing. It's at some point, I'm disgusted by the way I look. I'm ashamed about all the decisions I make. I continue to make the same ones. I'm depressed. I'm sad. You're gross. Oh, fuck. And you just ignore it. You're either actively trying to ignore that reality, or you're just fucking absolutely just carved to your core about how shitty you feel about what you've become. That's the reality. These guys hate almost everything about everything that had gotten them to that point. And that is the goddamn reality of this. And boy, once I figured that out, for me as a personal trainer, again, it's not a stance you can have as a gym. But once I figure that out now, you're going to start seeing some really fucking marketing for some of my stuff, because those are my people. Those are the guys that I want to be working with. That's the impact I am trying to have. We even went through with some people that I know who are real good advocates against, eating disorders and food dysfunction and things like this for decades. People I've been personally friends with for a long time. And when I start looking at this, because that's one of the things I'm always worried about with nutrition coaching and telling guys yeah, you're not hungry, stop eating, fucking eat less, fuck off, you're gross. The types of shit that I'll hint at and laugh about. But right. I still have that because there's people that I knew well who have suffered from eating disorders, and I don't want to be. But then I start looking at the statistics, John. I was worried about what traps am I going to fall in, right? And when do most people get eating disorders? What age?
I would definitely say preteen, teenager time period.
The numbers, and I'm going to be missing this directly, but it's 90+% are under the age of 16, and 95% are female.
Yeah.
And so you're listen, I'm fine. 45. If I convince a guy who's 400 pounds to have an eating disorder, You know what? I'll sort
The
it out
right
when he
way,
gets to
like the
200.
other direction.
Whatever. Yeah, I'll sort it. I'll sort it out when he gets down to 200 pounds. I don't fucking know, man. That's a risk I'm willing to take on their behalf. Because getting them from 400 to 500 pounds sure isn't going to help them live any longer either. So, but in regards to that, I in my marketing, I was always worried about those types of things. Am I going to rub somebody the wrong way? And then every time I end up crossing that road in my head, I think, well, these are people, like if some, don't be offended ladies for listening, but like if some chick hears this and I'm like, listen, you're fat, you're gross, you know, you're disgusting. If you would like to fix it and actually do something about it instead of hiding your head in the sand, send me a DM and we'll get you started on some weight loss. And in my head, I fully expect a lot of, you know, people don't have to hate themselves. I expect all those fucking excuses. Until I realize I don't give a fuck. I actually don't care. Because those people
care.
Anyone who's going to type that out.
Exactly.
Is never, ever, ever going to do business with me. Was never, is never, don't care. Okay. So eventually I have to go, okay, you know what? Tyler, you're right. I have to sit there and confidently go, you know what? I'm going to lean into this because this is how I connect with these people. This is also how I get guys, when guys sit there and that feeling is now mirrored to them in marketing. That's the best copywriting. That's the best marketing. That's the thing that attracts the people who also are ready to make the big change and are going to be project clients, but going to be an easy fucking project, dude. And that's impact. So we talk about this. Don't be afraid of taking on projects. And then when you are doing this with your one-on-ones with these people, boy, do you got to document this. You need videos, you need images, you need data, you need, I get screenshots from conversations with them, just some of these little milestones they come through. Just so that the people who are maybe about ready to start, when they see what someone 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in, they see the results. I had a post the other day. I have a guy who's really crushing it, heavy guy. He's crushing it. He's done like 13 pounds in 14 days. It's a big change. You know, that also awesome. Means he was headed way the wrong direction before too, right? Because this isn't, I'm not ripping fucking, this person's not starving to death by any means.
Right. Yeah, there's like some subtle changes.
But man, like, so we post that to somebody, I get it. All borderline misleading expectations of what weight loss can be, but I don't care. This is what's happening, and this is what that guy's experienced. If you want on this fucking road, let's go. And those are the things that's very important. You can't, if there's gym owners out there that we see that probably do good work that don't ever post about it at all. There's no, we always make fun of these gyms that don't get anybody any results. Hey, maybe you're getting great results and you just are doing a dog shit job of documenting it. Well, as far as getting new leads and getting new marketing and letting your customers, your members become your biggest promoters, you have to be as good at documenting and replicating and what's the word, spotlighting that experience for everybody else, showcasing that experience, that journey for the rest of the world, because that is it. That is equally as important to your mission as just doing a good job with this person. And that can make you insufferable. It can make you annoying. John, I've been posting between 3 and 5 times per day since January 1st.
Okay.
You want to know how many leads I've gotten per week in the last 16 days? In the last 16 days, I've got about 35 leads. Now, these are low value leads, getting a lot of ghosting, but it doesn't matter. They're all in the network. And everybody who doesn't get any results when you continue to do this and they go out on their own and you continue to be the lighthouse putting out their message, they'll circle back around. They just circle back. Some people are just kicking the tires, but you're the one they came to and you're the only one that they know. And you're still singing that song. So when they are ready to actually respond to your message, and I don't have to chase these motherfuckers down because they ain't ready. What do you want me to do? Beat the money out of you? Then I got to slap the fork out of your fucking hand every day. No thanks, dude. When you're ready, you'll be ready. But now they know where to go. That dialogue has already been started. And now if I continue at this pace, what does this look like in a year for my bigger mission now? That's a fuckload of people, dude. That's a lot of people that works out to. Whereas before we'd sit there and I got, personal trainers that we work with and have coached as well who sit and go, God, I'm just having a hard time. And they want to turn on sales. Okay, well, when was the last time you posted about, like, I'd like to get more online sales. When was the last time you posted about your online program and online coaching? And I'll go back and it's been like 3 months once. Okay, well, no fucking wonder, dude. And then they'll make one post and then wonder, well, I guess Tyler doesn't know what he's talking. No. You got to be about it fully. Okay. And I'm not recommending you or your gym or whatever post at this level of frequency that I'm doing, or be as obnoxious in your messaging as I'm being. But there's a principle to be extracted there, which is you must try. Effort is effort, and effort is undeniable.
And also where that messaging and consistent messaging is coming from, again, if you're a personal trainer listening to this, I would challenge you to increase. It'll be very hard for you to meet your volume, Tyler, and hitting the exact
Yeah,
notes
you
that you're
won't be
hitting
as
because
talented or handsome or smart
nope.
as me.
And guess what? You
Tan,
fuck. But
bald, jacked. I get it. I get it, guys. You're fighting an uphill battle.
but that's also, guess what? That's fucking real. Well, it's like that, but that's fucking real though.
Yeah.
Like the reality is, and that's what's important. That it's
some of those things won't come second nature to you, the content creation, the ideas, until you
correct.
get that faucet opened up and things are flowing, and you will get better. John, if you started a podcast today, it wouldn't be very good for a couple episodes. If you've never started a podcast, you're going to start marketing yourself today. Okay, well, guess what? It's not going to be as good right now as you'd like it to be. And I don't know what to say, except you got to keep doing it, and then you'll get better at it. But you're not going to get any better at it if you post 5 times a day, 4 times a day. That's going to be 4 or 5 times better in a year than you would be if you posted 1 time a day.
And because also it's reps, but it is not fake reps, right? It's happening simultaneously as you are doing the doing. Because this is when shit gets real squirrely, when all of a sudden someone just gives you a bunch of shit to copy and paste. And now you think because some fucking online marketing guru has told you that you need to post at least 5 times a day. And if you do that for a year, you'll change your life. It's like, no. Yes, but don't pervert that solid recommendation, which is more is more. And there's plenty of arguments that that's probably not always going to be the answer, but you have to be simultaneously learning and sharpening, right? Sharpening that message and sharpening that, that style and angle that you're going to take with that prolific putting out into the world through social. And this is why, for me, the most important thing is, and I don't want it to be lost on anybody, you start with the one-on-ones, because whenever you're going to implement something new or you are going to try and really get your shit together, let's clean this shit up. Maybe you're a gym owner that hasn't had enough, you haven't been focused enough on your personal trainers. The reason why you start with personal trainers, or if you are a personal trainer, you start with these one-on-one clients that are your highest paying clients, is because just like Tyler, you've been talking about, the results those clients will get will be better. You will get better and more meaningful wins sooner. And I cannot stress enough, as someone who builds and implements game plans and new concepts, you got to get a win mentally, psychologically. You've got to get a win early, because it can be so much ditch digging that if you tried to implement this concept across the whole business, you get so upset that you will send out 200 emails and only 80 people will open them. Well, now you're playing a game where, okay, you are moving the needle, but man, the wins aren't as meaningful. And when you start this surgically inside out to your best possible people that will get you the best results the fastest, that then allow you to be able to document that journey. All right, I'm feeling good. Now what you do is you level up and next go to the next more difficult group, which is a bigger group. Now you're semi-privates, and then your larger group, and then you keep going out, because those are harder.
Yeah.
You don't get as many wins as quickly, but you want to build this process out, and you really can sharpen your iron really efficiently starting inside with just those high quality people first.
So it's about effort. It's about making a plan. It also is about actually getting pretty good at these fundamental processes that are needed in order to actually get results out of another human who's paying you. And so if you want that results framework, we do have that. You can shoot us a message. We'll let you run through it. Just fucking, go through that checklist, start to address some of the things within your business through the lens of that framework, and see what changes, or see what changes you would want to make. I don't give a shit whether you do everything on that checklist or not. You're not fucking paying us anything anyways, guys, right? So take it or leave it, but ask for it, right? We've had plenty of people ask for it. Those of you that haven't, it's like, I don't understand. I just hope you're just swimming in money and all your clients are crushing it. That's all. That's my hope for all of you. And when we offer these types of things, it is to help along with that mission, to have you swimming in money and all your clients absolutely crushing it. The next part, John, is as we build this out from your small group, semi-private, large group stuff. I mean, that's obvious, and there's different ways to go about this, depending on your gym as well. A lot of this depends on your product on its own, but it's still, again, results. But it is in one-on-one, I think everyone can feel like they're getting, unless you're a really detached coach who's disinterested. One-on-ones, everyone feels like they're getting a VIP treatment.
They should.
As the owner, especially if you're the coach or you're solopreneur or you're the owner and you're doing some personal training, like for the most part, think they're working with the boss. I work for plenty of places when there's a problem. They're like, oh, can I talk to the boss? They know the boss by name. You're like, fuck. You got to call him. And he just has to give them boss time. He won't say or do anything that I wouldn't do. He doesn't know anything more about this problem than I know. And yet, once they get to have that, okay, yeah, he said it, there's just more trust there. So it's going to feel like a VIP thing when they're one-on-one, and they're okay with it. That's great. They're getting face time with the boss. When you get into group classes, it's different. It's not VIP, not really. So how can you over deliver, not just in results, because there are definitely different ways you have to go about delivering impactful results from a group setting. Some of it is going to be on group accountability. You're going to need to do things like challenges or sell nutrition coaching into those people, because if they have weight to lose, you cannot allow them to be delusional that working out fucking 2 hours a week with a bunch of other fit mommies is going to get that 100 pounds off them. It's likely not going to unless they make food changes. So, but allowing that to be the focus is that, hey guys, we are here for progress. Like, what do you need? Making sure that you can identify what they need and commoditize that kind of a little bit of this. Those are services you can offer, and those that take it, and those that leave it. But that is something I think you need to start to look at then when you address, again, you solve this problem in your one-on-ones, you get good at results, delivering results. Then when you make this into a thing you're going to work with your groups, now you have an idea of what you need people to do. And then you figure out, how do I make this a product, or how do I offer this to them? How do I get them to do this? And there's different dynamics to it, and that's going to all depend on you and your business. But the next part then is, I think, events, competitions, outings, activities, those end up being almost, in my opinion, aside from the community building thing, but they're like a showcase.
Secret weapon.
Yeah, it's like a show. Yeah. This is your showroom, man. This is like when the car dealerships used to move all their shit to the mall parking lot for like a weekend, fucking no reason. By the way, we have some car dealerships that are quarter mile from the mall. What the fuck? But I get it. Whatever.
Going where the people are.
This is 30 years ago. So
yeah.
The mall had a little different juice to it then than now. But it's just a thing to do. That's a thing to talk about, first off. But I also like it as a pattern interrupt, because there's so much of your asks are personal training, weight loss, transformations, come in, get started, group classes, blah, 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 supplements, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, let's just do hot dogs. We're doing hot dogs. Let's do hot dogs and beer. I don't know. Yeah, we're fucking like, let's just be, they're like, oh, really? I don't know. Like, it's, and you don't have to go all Planet Fitness, pizza and candy every goddamn day or whatever it is their vibe is. But there is something about making something approachable and fun and interesting. I'll give you an idea of what we're doing with the MMA gym. Okay. This is a concept that I think will attracts people who are looky-loos and spectators, and as well as people that are close to maybe starting martial arts or starting jiu-jitsu or starting kickboxing. And that's just a standard open house. Okay. Standard open house, I think it's a good idea. I think you should do one once a year. Call it Customer Appreciation Week. But the problem is that implies only your customers are welcome. I want this thing to be open to the public. So what we're going to do is essentially a bunch of, because we don't really want to do or host full like MMA fights, because there's nowadays, it's not like it was 20 years ago, which now you have to have like sanctioning bodies.
Go into a backyard.
Well, you can, but now there's like, you literally have to be like the athletic commission. And everybody, like even for amateur fights, guys got to have medical, dental, eye tests, blood tests. There's just all sorts of fucking shit you have to do to just let people swing at each other. So there's a lot to that. And we don't care to have it very formal, but the fact is, if I hosted a MMA, kickboxing, and grappling event here, like in the arena here, like people would fucking show up, because there's no real combat sports going on in this town that's spectator friendly. I don't want to do that because I don't care to be an event promoter. And if there's one thing I know for sure, it's getting athletes to show up for fights, especially amateurs that say they're going to show up and do the things they're going to do and make weight. This is fucking hard. And most of these people are scumbags. It's the reality of it, right? And so, no, I don't want to do that. But we got good guys. and good guys who understand the mission and can train good as good training partners and not try to hurt each other. So we're just going to run some exhibitions. So we're going to host a thing at our gym. It's going to be indoor, outdoor, so the weather's got to cooperate. We're going to have mats outside in the parking lot. We're also going to have mats inside. We're going to have food vendors that are going to show up. We're going to have fucking some raffles for people that are going to be there, raffle off some memberships and that type of stuff. But we're going to run like exhibitions, like friendly kickboxing matches. We'll have just our guy against our guys. Nobody's trying to win. Nobody's trying to hurt each other. We're just kind of having fun with it. Nice, tight format. Some grappling stuff where I want our guys, don't be camping. Don't be worried about winning or losing a bunch. Just showcase what jiu-jitsu is. Now, there's a fine line between that turning into like, you know what I mean? Somebody doing the touch of death on some, you know what I mean? Some 70-year-old man who doesn't sit up and just goes, blows on somebody and 7 guys fall over. Like, we're not trying to make it that type of an exhibition.
Yeah, not WWE.
But I want people to see that it's kind of cool, right? And I want them to see it without us having to take it all too seriously. That is an idea for a way you could do an event. This is what, say, CrossFit gyms, functional fitness gyms, when they host their contests, their in-house contests, right?
Yep.
Who shows up? Tons of family and some friends and some adjacent people show up to it. It's like that, but it's even more gay because we're all half naked and humping each other, because that's what jiu-jitsu is. Okay? Like, jiu-jitsu is like CrossFit, but way more gay.
Way gayer.
If you thought CrossFit was gay,
let us introduce you to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, come in my guard. Come climb between my legs. But again, you have to understand the concepts that work about those things, and what can you do in your place. And maybe that's literally doing a thing that has nothing to do with your gym too.
Absolutely.
Maybe this is just hosting a fundraiser for the goddamn puppy mill or puppy shop or puppy shelter at your place, and let them bring pups and you do whatever. And everyone's raising money for something else. It's not you. Okay. This is just you doing a nice community service, but it's with your people at your place. And this is how you can build goodwill. Those are the types of things, those types of one-off events are great for not just getting people into your building and getting them started, allowing them to attract other people. Hardens up your, what's the word? The perception of your business. It polishes that up quite a bit. They're like, God damn, what a complete system. We started doing for the MMA gym some fundraiser stuff. Now we've got 2 of them that we've done recently. They're free donation stuff. Most successful in regards to converting people into members that we've ever had. Better than any paid thing we've done or any other like just free thing, by the way. Do a free thing, nobody shows up. Do a free will donation for a women's shelter, everybody shows up. Great. I don't care. I care. Let me rephrase. I care. But I don't care what gets them in, and I don't care where that money goes. I don't care if it costs nothing. We just want the leads, and great that it supports this other thing. And since that moves the needle more, that is a vote from the public. We will do that more. So good. That's a system that we're very happy with. But that starts to feed so much goodwill that now, when you then combine that with some good follow-up tactics, like just Google reviews, have an event like that. Be like, hey, if you liked this, just even this open house, and you can tell them, I want to get more Google reviews so more people can find us when they search for us. So you were here. This is cool. Scan this. Give us a review. Let us know we were nice. Let people know we were nice. I don't even give a fuck if you did business with us. You were here. You like the puppies. I use puppies to get Google review. That puppies.
That's sweet.
Have some cool. Thank you. Yep. Google review would be really sweet. And people will crush it because all they want to know is that you're friendly. Like if people know you're friendly, you're nice, and it's welcoming, they don't, for the majority of people who are about to do business with you, that moves the needle a lot more than this guy's a fucking wizard at violence, or this guy's the best, smartest coach with the biggest brain I've ever fucking seen. That is annoying and off-putting to like experts, let alone normal people. John, I posted a very simple video the other day, which was me doing sit-ups on the GHD machine. And it was a common setup mistake where people would do sit-ups on it and where they're sitting their butt on the pad. Therefore, too much arch in the back can kind of, just a lot of people will do those and their back will hurt. I said, low-hanging fruit, scoot the fucking foot rack way, 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 way back. So your ass is truly hanging off. And then your hips can swivel and you can get to this position and no back pain. Some fucking know-it-all dipshit coach with no following at all couldn't just see that and go, this guy's addressing low-hanging fruit for normal people. Has to pipe up, like can't not say anything. Leaves me a comment that says, psoas probably needs a little more training. And I'm like, oh, the psoas? You start talking to somebody who's got weight to lose or has some back problems, you'd be like, oh yeah,
About their psoas.
let's worry about your psoas. It's the fuck, like, no wonder you have no following and none of your people get, like, fuck off. It's the most pretentious, above and beyond shit that you don't, these guys are so dumb. They're so smart. They don't even realize how dumb they are and how dumb they sound when nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares about that thing. And that in regards to, this is a person trying to help somebody. That person thinks they're trying to help somebody, but they are pretentious and stupid. And what an absolute fucking missing the mark. So for a normal person, okay, look at those two styles of communication. Yeah, scoot your butt back a little bit and it won't hurt so bad. What's more approachable? Oh, what makes more sense? Likely it's your psoas. 99% of human beings could not just point within, let's divide the body into quadrants, top to bottom, could not point to which part of the body, head to toe, even close, that the psoas is in. And I'm going to guess 80% of them wouldn't pronounce it right either. So, like, also, who cares? Also, who cares? We saw so many douchey coaches just like narrow in on obscure fitness concepts. Oh, it's psoas is your breathing and fucking just dumb, pretentious shit that like normal people don't. It's just dorks having dorktism over there. And so don't do that. Be approachable. So when you are a nice guy doing nice guy shit and being approachable, that's what you want. Get reviews from those people. Like pile up your Google reviews via that type of stuff, because there's nothing I want less than say I help somebody with their psoas and I help somebody with their back pain. John, what does that Google review look like? What's that testimonial do for me when I share that? I had back pain and Tyler paid great attention to my psoas, and then my back pain has improved and I've really learned so much about the psoas. And okay, great. Nobody is lining up for your fucking psoas workshops, you fucking losers. Nobody. And what a waste of all these people in your community who could get there and be huge promoters of your services, and you can get people for weight loss and fitness and health and run them all the way through that entire process. And you're worried about stupid shit that nobody cares about. You're worried about being right or being smarter than other people. And that's not the point. The only thing that matters is that person in front of you. Okay. How can they feel and how can they get results? That's important. And that's it. Like that's the concept there, as far as like how we want. Those are the tools that you have at your disposal as far as products and as far as people and some of those archetypes. We do have a little bit of, what's the word we're looking for? Kind of a strategy for this. We can run people through here, John, which is starting with your one-on-ones or in some of your premium personal training or premium small group stuff. God, depending on your product, especially if you're doing a intentional transformation type thing, or stacked offers, gift bags, welcome bags, fucking rule. I think a little bit, there's two ways to go about this. One, if you're a business, go for it. If you're a gym, I think one-on-ones and small group, a t-shirt, some chalk, maybe a supplement samples or whatever, like just swag bag, water bottle, shaker cup, whatever the thing is, maybe a gift card to one of your partners or whatever, one of your partner businesses. Those are great. I think you could fill those out with things from partnerships that you'll have. And this, I think that's something you can do for almost everybody all the time. If you're a personal trainer, it's a little weird for me to bring somebody. So I don't know, for me, I'm not bringing another man gifts. But what I do like to do is I do like supplements are a very easy thing for me to just go, here, try this. So what I do oftentimes, I can do like 5-pound tubs of protein powder. It's a little expensive for me to be giving away 5-pound tubs, unless I bake it into the cost of the whole experience, which I can still kind of do. But I go with the little 2-pounders. It's like a $20 expense for me, maybe at cost, but you can give somebody that tub. The other thing I like to do, because it's dude shit, is ammonia nose torque capsules. I use the capsules, not the bottle, because if they don't get into it or they don't like it a bunch. So I just I keep 100 pack around, and I'll throw 10 of them in here, and they're like, what are these? And like, we're about to find out. Let's go. So then we're on the thing. It's like, we're doing some bro shit. Let's rock and roll. Throw that couple fucking energy drinks, and you're like, all right, we're here. Like, I'm happy to have you. Let's start kicking ass. And now everything is now I have training intensity and then a little bit of extra tension to make it. Those are gift bags and welcome packs that give people, it actually is value beyond just giving them a shirt. These are things that can sets the vibe a little bit. That's the reason I kind of like that structure for me. There's something like that for you that's out there. Find your own version of it or do mine. I don't care, but I want to be like, let's rip ammonia, piss pound of protein, slam some bars. Let's get fucking jacked. Let's go,
Yeah, and that it starts simple. And again, the idea, right? It's start small, start with something that you can do with every single person that meets that particular qualification. Because I think customizing this process specific to the level of commitment someone is making with you, whether they're making with you in the gym, based off of the membership or the service that they chose to get.
I want to start giving mouth tape to people.
Okay.
Not for sleeping. Just be like,
so they don't talk to you.
Next time you feel like you need to have a snack, just tape your fucking mouth shut, Lunchbox. Let's stay on track here. Anyway,
but you get to set the tone though. But while these are jokes, this is going to sound super lame, but
I
it's
haven't said to people, that's for sure.
But like they're on brand, right? Like and that's what's important is you'll hear us talk about these things, but it's like once you get so comfortable and confident with how you communicate and how you communicate with different types of people, because you'll learn. And again, if you're brand new, these are things that only can happen from time in the saddle. And if you're not new, you've been doing this for 10 years, you know this. You just haven't weaponized it. You haven't put something in an action plan to then take this knowledge that you have, and this shit's the most important. So whether it starts with that gift bag, but for me, it's like everything that you do, again, inside out, all the stuff we talked about of the idea of getting results and having this idea of like getting your people to be your biggest promoters through systematically perfecting your processes with your personal training and then growing out from there. Well, as you improve that communication process, you now have this really sharp process and you're teaching people from the very beginning. Because for me, that's actually what's most important is the number one problem that plagues every single business, whether you're going from business to consumer or business to business and interpersonal business issues, it's always communication.
Yeah.
Communication is where it always
either
lies.
Failing to be met
exactly.
or being misaligned or whatever. That is the root of all problems. And like you mentioned, this communications plan, how you're going to communicate with these people. If that's tight, talk about over delivering. That's the thing that like people, we're all like, I don't want to get a bunch of fucking emails from my gym or my trainer. Okay, cool. But then like, if that's what you think they're thinking, like just know that they actually want guidance because that feels like value. Contact feels like value. It feels like you're interested. If your gym doesn't send but 1 or 2 fucking emails a year, Jesus Christ. And I'm not talking about just the generic stuff that's gym to all gym members type shit. Which is fine, by the way. That still needs to exist. I still believe you have to be like, hey guys, here's our holiday schedule and here's what we're looking for. And here's some of the products we're liking to push this. That's fine. But you also need like, Stephanie came in and she wants to lose a bunch of weight. What resources do you have for her? What reminders does she need at which points in this process? When do you want to circle back around and offer her, whether it's body scans or other services or a check-in or just to sit down or what exactly can you offer this person and when? And can that be built into an actual plan that is not done? Because when you do it with one-on-one, that's the thing. You can, via one-on-one, do it by the seat of your pants. It's just you. It's a person, right? But you need to understand the components that make that work for that person. Then when someone else comes in and you have 20 people, and maybe you're not coaching them, like what do they need? Because that's going to let them know that you do care. That's going to keep them on track. That gives them a higher likelihood of success, but it also feels like you give a shit.
Yeah. And you can manufacture that feeling. Like you can make that repeatable. Because for me, that's always the thing, right? It's like, what's the number one thing that we always say when we get a really good client? They're having really good results. They do everything that we say. The very first thought we have is, how do I find more people like this person?
Why can't they all be like this?
Right. So once you can now dial that in, now what you want to do is, how have I communicated with this person, with this style of person that just continues to crush it? Well, now you have a plan that's custom built to that type of person. And now your ability to now repeat that plan, you don't need to keep recreating the wheel. So now you really can ensure that not only can I get these types of people, but I know exactly what to say and when because I have data. And that's the biggest piece for me that I think we miss, which is we do this thing so often by the seat of our pants. We don't document anything as we're having success. And it goes right back to the very beginning, which is, well, I get all my people word of mouth. It's like, no, bitch, you actually have
I
no
just
idea.
accidentally
why
find
someone
some
shows
guys
up.
that hate themselves because they're fat, and those guys do okay, but the other ones don't.
And I
Okay,
kind of don't know what to say.
I guess I won't even address that idea. The one single pivot point that is the success or failure of determines the success or failure from all of my clients, frankly. Okay. Like these things are important. You should pay attention to them. Or I wouldn't say I'm lucky, just lucky enough. Oh, fuck you, dude. What are we doing here? There's no less inspiring gym owner than any of the ones that we've ever spoken to in the last, almost 10 years, John, 8 years. Than a gym owner who just kind of like, hey, yeah, it just kind of works. I don't know. Like a meh gym owner is just, it sucks. It's the least, God, is it the least interesting. John, I went to private school with a lot of very rich, very privileged kids who didn't need to work that hard for much, but there's a lot more ambition in some of the very, very, very wealthy people that I grew up with who never had to work a fucking real work a day in their life. They have a lot more ambition and a lot more drive than a gym owner who's fucking still broke and still wishes they had 50 more members or wishes they made $50,000 more a year. Okay. And yet do nothing about it. There's no problem solving. There's no accountability to themselves over it. That uninspired shit sucks. It sucks. And by the way, I can smell it on you. I can smell it on you by your Instagram page. I can smell it on you by the copy you write. I can smell it on you by the initial smell test of somebody's gym. If you've been around for 10 years and you have 7 Google reviews, oof, Jesus Christ, dude, what are we doing? We see it every day. We still pull gyms. We still audit gyms that we don't do business with just to see what the trends are. And Jesus Christ, guys. It's embarrassing. You should be embarrassed. Not you, because you're listening to us. But this is low-hanging fruit. And then the next thing we want to know before we get going here, John, is we've kind of called this concept in the past a quarter to remember. But is once you settle into some of these systems and this routine now, these type of events or challenges or promotions or whatever these are, they start to be rotated. Kind of every 3 months was kind of what we say, because that way quarterly, you can check every box. But that means now there's something happening nearly every month. A new offer, a new focus, a new concept, and whatever, but they rotate. It's not new every month forever. It's new this month, something new next month, something new next month, back to thing A, thing B, thing C, thing A, thing B, thing C. And we keep going until we've refined and changed those into things that work the best. All we're doing here is doing enough actual work, trying enough things, and giving everything an actual chance, so that we can assemble some best practices and best processes for your business. Not every business, but your business. And that's why this learning process you have to do. You can't just pay someone to come in and, I plug in weight loss challenge, run ads to weight loss challenge. Well, that's like not really your thing. And if it doesn't really, you're not really giving it the chance. You're not, as if you made it and you built it from the successes that you have had. And then you're kind of staying married to this concept, and you can build it and refine it and develop it, get better at selling it and marketing it and fulfilling it. And that's really, really how this goes. When you buy this turnkey, get leads now shit, like you're fucked. You're fucked. You're playing with fire. It's not good. So this idea is once you do enough of this stuff, now you can you hit this button. Sweet. It's time for this button. Sweet. It works the way that works because I built it and I refined it and I got good at it. If you never get good at the thing, just fucking plugging it into your business it's not the cure you're looking for.
And it will distract you because you will have success, but that singular thing will have success. Yeah, and then it will distract you. And then the quality of person you're bringing in changes and evolves. And very quickly you realize you've dedicated now all of the changes to support this one particular thing. And you're going to have a bunch of unintended consequences that you weren't aware that was going to happen next to your total gym vibe and community because you put all your eggs in that single basket. Or you can make sure that's fully integrated into everything that you do and it's working in straight lines. And then all of a sudden you don't kind of wake up and realize you hate your gym all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Or you feel like you've sold the soul away to run this particular thing. And now you have to have an existential crisis And hopefully you have a couple members that kind of say, hey, is everything all right? Are you going to buy a Porsche and divorce your wife? Like, what's happening? Because something is happening. And hopefully you get out of that before it's too late.
Yeah, at least with the Porsche. Now, now we didn't touch on referral plays, like an actual referral ask. And I think that was kind of the nature of this concept. Listen, asking for referrals, having a referral program, having that built into your systems, however you want to place emphasis on that rotationally, that's fine. That's up to you. That wasn't really the gist. I think he even mentioned in here that was not necessarily directly, like without asking, hey, can you get some people? Can you tell some people that we do good here, please? And I'll give you $11. Like that works, and that's fine. And there's a place for it. And there's plenty of different approaches to a standard referral play. What we're talking about is being worth referring. And that when somebody does refer somebody to you, when they go to look into any of the things that you do, that they're impressed. Because you can get a very great recommendation from somebody you trust. And then I go click on your Facebook page or your Instagram page as a business, and it's some low effort shit. And there's not a single result to speak of on there. Most of my friends are fucking idiots too, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
What do you, John, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. It's a perfect example. I get recommendations from restaurants that are good all the time. Good here, good when I travel. Oh, you got to go here. I fucking am never going anywhere if you recommend a restaurant to me. Never. I ignore everyone's restaurant recommendations. I don't particularly enjoy going to restaurants. I don't like the whole experience. And I also don't like, what am I going to, someone tried recommended to me like a rice plaza, right? You go there, they got like rice, and you can do rice. And then like this, it was basically like a poke bowl spot, but not really. It was like, I'm not going to get fucking rice at a fucking restaurant. Never, ever am I going to go to a sit-down restaurant and order anything with rice. Fuck off. I make rice at home. I got meat at home. What are we doing? Okay. Now that's just me, but I don't trust anyone on anything. They don't fucking know me. They don't eat with me. You see what I eat every god. I'm microwaving egg whites. Do you think I'm that interested in going to this fucking bakery spot that makes the most No. So I fucking I get references from people about restaurants that I should really try. And I am never, ever going to take a recommendation. There's just no fucking chance. You don't know what I like to eat unless it's some real pig out shit. And I'm literally just pulling the plug and they're like, you know what you can eat there? All of it, as much as you want. That's the only criteria that would make me ever go. It'd be like, it's like Golden Corral, but the food is good. That might be the only restaurant recommendation I would ever take. Okay. But for real, like if someone's like, I hear from all the time, like, oh, use this personal trainer in town. He's great. I was like, well, I know that personal trainer is a fucking moron. Right. So like there's plenty of people give dog shit recommendations all the time. I think people are pretty good now at distrusting the opinions of people around them. We've been pretty like tight with that since about 2020 here. Like listen, the idea of a recommendation from somebody that might start a little bit of a spark of interest. That is not going to pull somebody all the way. So you still have to be good and you still have to market how good you are. Have to. So, and results speak better than anything else. So you cannot just hope that people will recommend. By the way, like, because of the political divisiveness in this country, John, half the people around me were like fucking telling me that I should have not been allowed to be in public because I didn't get vaccinated at one point. Or that my wife should be fired from her job because she wasn't vaccinated. Well, now that's all gone away, but what if one of those morons recommends a fucking gym to me? What am I going to say? Okay, I think your whole fucking logic thing is broken. And you've definitely lost any, you know what I'm saying? Like this is, but everybody thinks this way, right? We're in a very conservative place here. If somebody's like, listen, there's somebody who's like blatantly, loudly liberal, there's not a recommendation they can make about a gym, a food, the sun being out, that like half the people here are going to trust. They're like, oh, fuck that fucking dork. You know what I mean? That's the types of things now they're out there. Like the idea of a standard interpersonal recommendation about a place you should do business with, that's dying. It's absolutely dying. And that's okay, because you should be able to promote yourself. But the people who are really doing business with you, yes, they will advocate for you and be your biggest promoters, but their experience needs to be the content that is promoting yourself. Their experience, their results. Don't expect their words to do all the legwork for you. Okay. You have to spotlight their experience, their results, their outcomes, and everything else will take care of itself.
And that's exactly right. Is the number one thing that you and I have learned from working with gym owners and personal trainers over the last decade is that there are So every single referral strategy that's out there works. That's why there's so many. So, but the difference is not the strategy. The success that a place is going to have with strategy A versus strategy X is going to come down to what we've just dedicated this entire episode to, what you just highlighted. That's why we didn't go, hey, what strategy is best? These are our favorite. Fucking Chat GPT 10 fucking referral strategies.
Pick
And
one
there's
that you
your
hate the
referral
least.
strategy.
Yeah.
Right? Like you just have to have some that you're going to try, and some will work better than others. But the true success is going to come from the fact that, do you have all of this in place, what we just described, before you're deploying a referral strategy, before you bother to do it? Because if you do all these things, if you make it about, right, if you make it results first, if you make it to where your members are now your biggest promoters, you're doing all of these pieces that we've built out, guess what? Your referral strategy is going to be fucking successful because you'll have all those intangibles. Now you just have a plan. And the most importantly is, and we talk about this all the time, Tyler, the first time you run your referral strategy will be the worst version that you will ever do. The first time you run it, it's going to be not as good as it will be at version 3.0. And that's how it's supposed to be.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Follow the show, Gym Owners Podcast on Instagram. Follow John at
JBanksFL on Instagram.
And you can follow me at Tyler F. Stone on Instagram. Anything else? I don't know. Email us directly if you want to talk to us via email, I guess.
At the dudes at hackyourgym.com.
The dudes at hackyourgym.com, where we can get all of our other. John, what does your email look like now?
It's just
sucks. It's like it get to the point where like I have to go through and unsubscribe to so many things now that it's overwhelming. Now email marketing is just like, fuck, you will get buried in just a monotony. This is why you have to there's an arms race, because I'm going to get 7 fucking emails from the last place I bought a workout shirt from amongst everything else. And so if somebody else wants to market to someone in an email, you are going to have to the only way to do it is quantity now. It sucks. It's tough to break through. Everybody's email inbox is like their biggest cause for frustration. Like in your day, like it's nuts. And you either spend all this effort to keep it clean, or you just go into a rage every time you look into it. I bet I get 200 emails a day, and none of them are important.
Easily. And that's why you email
us. That's why we keep this one separate from anything we have stuff in. But any of these, like, you're going to be buried during our amongst our OpenAI subscription and our Riverside subscription and all of our subscriptions, you'll be in the mix there. So we'll dig you out of there. Or you can message us directly at the Gym Owners Podcast on Instagram. So thanks for listening. I'm on team fuck email in 2025. We just don't have a better tool yet. but yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week.